شكرا لكم على الاهتمام. Thank you for your attending today. This is the second session. Mr. Shinji, the great miracle wizard, he will handle this session. This session will explain what's going on and what's the what's the formula to be number one in your life, number one in your business, regarding whatever you are working with, and by his technique and by his knowledge, he will explain all this kind of this spiritual journey, spiritual. شكرا لتواجدكم. مستر شنجي حيتولى السيشن الثاني اللي حيشرح فيه آليات عمل الدماغ وكيف ممكن يولد الأفكار الخلاقة بالطريقة اليابانية، وكيف من خلال التكنيك اللي هو بيعلمه كواحد من 5 بالعالم بيعلم هذا التكنيك، كيف بنخلق الطاقات الإيجابية والقيادية والأفكار الرائعة القيادية والإيجابية حتى نحقق أهدافنا إن كان على الصعيد الشخصي والحياتي أو على صعيد العمل. مستر شنجي واحد من 5 بالعالم بيعلموا هذا العلم. أحب إني أنوه لكم مرة ثانية إنه أفضل التغطية أفضل التغطيات، أفضل 3 تغطيات لهالإيفنت حتنول جوائز مادية مميزة. اليوم حيكون في درو لكل، يعني حيكون في سحب لكل الناس الموجودين، وأهلا وسهلا فيكم. There will be a draw for everybody. I will pass numbers for everybody for that draw. For today, we will make the draw after this session, and it will be a prize and awards for 3 of the best coverage for this event also. Mr. Shinji, we will discuss, and I will surprise Mr. Shinji about my suggestion. Mr. Shinji, we will discuss with you after this session if could send for the best 5 attendees certification from Japan. You will send me questions regarding this session, and I will pass it to the people who attended, and you will choose 5 of them to send them a certification for attending from you and Mr. Hassan. What about this suggestion? Do you like it? Okay. So Mr. Shinji حيكافئ 5 آخرين بشهادات موثقة منه ومن معهد مستر حصة على حضورهم لهالجلسة النوعية اللي هي بتصير مرة واحدة بالعالم بس بدبي، واللي نحن اليوم عم نعملها احتفالا بالعيد الوطني الإماراتي 47 celebration celebrating of National Day. Mr. Shinji, he will give 5 of attendees as a certification for the best 5 of them, and he will send me some questions. I will pass it to you. Regarding this, he will give the best 5 answers a certification. Thank you, Mr. Shinji, and we will continue from now.
Okay, now, again, thank you for coming today. It is really good to be here, again in Dubai, to hold this seminar. And I'm very glad that first part by Hisa. To my surprisingly, most of you could feel the energy that Hisa was giving. So I'm very glad. So the second part, I will start. On my part, what I'm going to do is to explain and for you to understand what was going on, like her during the session by Hisa. He started out crying. Why that happened is the key to my second part. So, my part is mostly like speaking up, explanation a little bit about spirituality. I will call it transcendent dimension of who you really are is my theme on the second part. And that consists of first part, thoughts trap. Second part, consciousness shift. And the third one, love. There are three kinds. And the last part, fourth part, timeless being of who you really are. And I want you to feel it instead of understanding, rather. Just feel on the second part, please. First of all, I think I want to speak about thoughts, your thinking. I will invite you to enter this present moment just now, because we are being so absorbed in thinking always, and thoughts have mostly very negative quality than positive quality. It's just like a magnet. It's like a pull. So instead of being observed in your thinking, I want you to just feel that presence inside of you. It's real you. It is just like you just feel something, of course. Every moment you feel something. It is called shift. S stands for sensations. H, oh, this is a mistake. S-I-F-T, shift. So, our thoughts consist of shift, just sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. That has very, very negative quality, because we have been taught by our parents, by adults around you, by society, by religion, by economic conditions, and so on, to identify with feelings, thoughts, images, sensations. It is summoned up, like I just call it thoughts. And your entire sense of who you really are is deriving from your thoughtless being, in which you have real presence in your mind. It's just like beyond your sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. And mostly, we are hardly here, present enough not to bump into chairs, desks, but mostly our thoughts are occupied by sensations, images, feelings, like emotions and thoughts. So, I'm talking about sense of me. Sense of me. That means always sense of me make you feel that you need something more satisfactory, more happier. You look for it. You look for something. You look for something always that fill your contentment. But real you is not your thinking. Real you is the one who is seeing it, who is looking it. You know what I mean? I am right now speaking up, and you are feeling right now just there is a Shinji in front of me and speaking something, and there is me who is listening and feeling. This kind of thing is just feeling your body and your sense of inner sense of feeling. It is taking a shape, form. It is body form. Yes, it's my body. It's like this. And yourself feeling your body. And your mind is sensing inside of me there is some kind of energy. You cannot see, but you just feel it. Just form of energy. And always you identify with that sense of energy as yourself. but it's not that. The one who is looking, the one who is hearing is real you. So, we're from Japan, so religiously we believe in Buddhism, but Buddhism is not like a religion. I think it's like a philosophy, and it's logical thinking. And Buddha says, wherever you see, wherever you hear, if you identify with your self-image that comes from what you have been talked about, it's you, from your mother, maybe, from your father, maybe, or from adults around you. It is continuously making suffering. That is in Sanskrit word dukkha. It is creating always. You need something more. You need, you're feeling it is always not enough. It is always something that I have to achieve. And as long as you look for it, you never find it. You never get it. Because, as I said, the one you are seeing it, you are looking it, is real you. Maybe most of you know the story about Churchill Mitchell, a blue bird, tale of history, tale of story. They went out home to look for happiness around the world. And they failed to find it. And the moment they gave up and came home, here it is. There is a bluebird in the garden, which you might not have noticed it times ago. So that's the story. As long as you look for it, you look for happiness, you look for satisfactoriness, you cannot find it. Already, you are a success, you are a happiness, you are a contentment. That's who you really are. And be careful that I said we have tendency to go into negative mind creating suffering. I mean, negative thoughts have more seductive, seducing yourself, than positive thoughts. So what you're thinking, mostly, more than 90%, is there is an unpleasant person who said something yesterday, who did something yesterday, or who failed to do something yesterday, or who failed to say something yesterday, or who should have done something yesterday. That kind of thoughts are so absorbed in your image, and that builds up your self-image of what your reality is. But that is not reality. The reality is, it's goes beyond what you think is happening inside your mind. Just one who is looking at it, just one who's seeing it. It's just like a moment you feel. Sometimes you feel beauty or peace. For example, there is a dog who approach you and tail wag, and you feel, wow, this is a lovely dog. I'm really relieved to see dog. I love dog. Of course, who don't, if you don't like dogs, but most people feel, when you see a dog, you feel very peace inside of you. Because the reason why you feel peace and love is dog can never have a judgment about you. Dog cannot judge. It reveals itself as a presence of being, presence of peace, presence of lovely kind. So you just feel inside of you the same thing, same feeling, same existence, same being inside of you, the same thing. You feel about you and about dog. You just feel the same one. So you are identifying with the being of dog. It creates your real sense of being. That's real you. Or when you see a flower, oh, this is a lovely flower, I wish I had it inside home. Because, of course, a flower doesn't have any judgment about you. It's just there, over there, as a presence. It's just a real essence of being. So the total universe is the same. Total universe is like a wave and an ocean. When there is no wind, there is an ocean. It's one thing. It's just one. That is called oneness. But once there is wind, like a wave arise and it goes back to sea, subside. That wave is your thought. But you never lose your presence, real who you really are. Before wind comes, you are ocean, you are universe. And the universe consists of, as I said, sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. That's you cannot see shift, but you sense it like wave. Wave arises and then subsides into ocean. Before you were born, you were ocean, and after you were born, you exist as a wave. But when you die, you go back to the ocean. But the ocean itself, it always has existed. Always the ocean, your true self, who you really are, always exists. So, I'm going to the third part, love three kinds. It's a good example of who you really are. Love have, they say, three kinds of love. One is a human love. That love that changes and varies, that when you're married, you promise you love your partner, but situation changes, and for example, you come home late to watch your wife's birthday, and what is happening is, I like you, I love you, but sometimes I hate you, I don't like you. It changes. Human love changes. You know that? So, the situations and conditions are going to decide human love. It's a condition that decides human love. But second love is so-called spiritual love that never changes, but do vary. I would say it would be like parents and children. Excuse me. Most of you are married and have children. So against children, toward children, you have, of course, love. Your love never change. Whatever you do, whatever do behave, whatever they choose their own way, you never mind it. As long as your children, you love. But degree of love, it varies. Sometimes you feel stronger love, from one person to one person, from one child to another child. And the third love, that love is so-called divine love, God's love. So, I think who we really are, true essence of ourselves, are this divine love. Divine love that never changes, that never varies. It's just love that has no opposite. When I say in word, what is the opposite of love? You might think, maybe, variety of words you come up, opposite word of love. But divine love has no opposite. The opposite of love is just love. There is a totalness, just one thing, just oneness, just oneness. So I think maybe a human being, we are going to experience in the new dimension, in the new future, that we are going beyond human love and spiritual love, then reach divine love. And at that time, we have no wars, we have no fights, we just at peace. And who you really are, the being, the existence, that is timeless, everlasting being. We are totally recovering our true selves, I believe, in the near future. And the first part, on the first part, by Hisa, that kind of energy, that kind of vibration, that kind of vibrations are giving you the opportunity to get into that kind of dimension, which I call it transcendent dimension, super dimension. It is going beyond subjects and objects split. We always feel it's me, subject, and it's the other world, object, and it is splitting. It's different, but the true self is, as I said, that subject and objects going beyond that subject and object, split. It's totalness. And what we really are is timeless being. Let's call it, the time is this horizontal line. So this is something like cause and effect line, or just a chronological timeline. So when you look back, there was an incident that caused you, that brings you another stage, and that goes something, that goes something, that goes something, that goes something, and that goes something, and it's you right now who are is attending this seminar. But there is another timeline. It's a vertical timeline. And that goes up to divine love. Divine love. It is timeless. It goes beyond time. There is no time. Everything is inside it. And what I want to explain is this horizontal timeline. You always feel something is causing different thing, different event, and that causes something different. That causes. But in this vertical timeline, there is no time. The horizontal line crosses the vertical lines. That's the real point of right now, just now. It is. You think yourself, you always have free to do something, free to do make choices, and that causes your effect of whatever you are experiencing. But this vertical timeline, that is timeless, that includes every universe, every kind of things. One single thing has been taken care of by the universe. It is already handled. For example, me being here from the vertical point. When my birth already handled, and that leads to the seminar being held right here at this moment. Even if you're worried, you don't have to worry, because everything has been taken care of already in this timeless being, timeless timeline. You don't have to be worried. Everything has been taken care of, handled by the universe. But unfortunately, we are timeless being, but in the timeless being universe that creates time-bound existence. It's sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. So, I have to conclude by saying, always do feel the moment of now. You need to go back from the thoughts and just be here, just now. That is your true self, timeless being, always. Everything about yourself has been already taken care of. And the last one is, if you study the spiritual world, it is widely said, the progress you make, how to know you are making progress on spiritual path is depending on how you become thoughtless, less thought, less thinking. The less you think, the more you become spiritual. Thank you very much.
On time, huh? Thank you, Mr. Shinji. Thank you, Mr. Hissa, for this lovely seminar. شكرا السيد شينجي وحصة على السيمينار المتميز والنوعي. نحن اليوم صار عنا علوم جديدة. We have a new knowledge and it's a great experience through this lovely and unique seminar. Before we will go to Q&A, قبل ما نعمل عملية الأسئلة والأجوبة اللي حابب إنه يستفسر من السيد حصة وشنجي، حنجري السحب على بعض الهدايا الرمزية اللي حابين إنه نشكركم فيها على حضوركم. Before we'll go to questions and answers with Mr. Shinji and Mr. Hassa about any of materials or subjects in this unique seminar. We will go to a draw to say thank you for your attending today. We have 6 gifts. And everybody have numbers?
Yes.
Okay, great. Especially Mr. Hassan, you don't have number, but you can draw. Okay, Mr. Hassan, please take first one. Which number? 15. Number 15. Number 15. هو عطر نسائي فاخر. Mr. Hassan, number 2, please. Not number 2 يعني, the second one. Number 12. Number 12. انت. نظارات بوليس. طبعا الجوائز في تصاعد. You are going. Yes, you like it, huh? By the way, the most, I believe, the most one considerate in this event, he will get the best prize. 16. 16. Oh. سيارة على شكل ساعة. It's a car. ساعة هواوي. الهواوي من الصين. اوكي مو مشكلة. بس يعني اليابانيين صاروا يصنعوا بالصين ما في مشكلة. Yes, you're right. خلونا Okay, number 6. Yes, number 6.
Yes.
Number. ساعة من هواوي. ساعة من هواوي. يا حصل. Okay. The last draw. 2? Oh, you are focusing. Okay. Number 2. Oh! You will get a mobile. The last draw. Float. Mix. This is the last chance. Seven. I told you the most fun. Serious about it, it will be the winner. برضو ساعة من هواي. Thank you for your attending. I'm very happy to have you here today. The people who wants to ask Mr. Shenji and make a special interview, they can stay here. The others, thank you for your attending, and we will meet in another seminar. Please stay a little bit. After 2 minutes, I will back to you. Mr. Shenji, you have the people with you for any Q&A. Yes. Okay. Natalie, شوفي سمينة والأستاذ. سمينة. Yes.
يعطينا لمحة كيف نفصل الأفكار السلبية في الوقت الحاضر. كيف نفصل الأفكار السلبية من العقل الباطني وفي نفس الوقت أفكر أفكار إيجابية لأنه أصعب هذا.
Okay. Mrs. Shiraz, she's asking you how we can control about the immediate negative energy, how we can control it and push it to be a positive energy.
Nice question.
Yes.
She wants to make a video.
The most important thing to get away from negative thoughts is just stop the thoughts. That means that you're just looking at what you're thinking about, because the real you is consciousness who is aware of what is happening. So even what you're thinking is not you. You can see it. You can understand it. What I'm thinking about right now. Just become aware of it. Yes.
أهم خطوات فيك تعمليها بهذا الخصوص إنك توقفي مباشرة التفكير بالنقاط السلبية نهائيا، تحيديها وتروحي للزيرو ثوت اللي هو انعدام التفكير واجبار النفس على انعدام التفكير بالامور السلبيه، والتفكير بالمقابل بشيء مضاد بالامور المبهجه والامور اللي بتساعدك فعليا وبتكوني عن طريق وعيك سيطرة على اللاوعي من خلال إجباره على التفكير الإيجابي. تفضل. حبيب تعقيب؟
هو عنده سؤال.
تفضل. Your question.
I heard of her. Nothing meaning.
You want to ask?
First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you, Mr. Mukhtar and Mr. Hassan and Shimji, to bringing a very good thought. And my question is first to Mr. Shimji that everybody is trapped in thoughts.
Yes.
All the time we are thinking, as you said about this, we can stop, but we cannot. It's coming, and we trap. So, what is the syntax to? We can try, practice, and how we get out of this situation. And the second question to Mr. Hissa, that while you are closing your eye and you are going to connect to spirituality, and how and what is the best way to connect. Thank you.
Higher dimension. So the answer is to that question is, we only have one attention. So we always direct one attention to whatever happening around you, and that creates thoughts, as you said. So that attention is very important. You direct your attention to what is happening around you, more alert, very focused on what is happening around you. Just one attention, what is happening. Because, as I said, when you see a flower, always the flower, I wish I had it at home. But you don't see it. You don't see it. You, as I said, you just pay attention to the existence itself. Existence. That is not form. That is not in form. Because sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts are creating that kind of illusions. It's just inner energy you cannot see. So, for example, please try to pay attention to your body energy, like breathing, like inner feeling of your sense of body inside energy. It helps a lot. It helps you a lot. Inside existence, you feel it. Any comments? なんだ、膝、ようやって高次元に積み詰められた工房ですよ。日本語でも難しい。He said it is difficult. It is difficult to answer, even if in Japanese. Try.
Any other questions?
Before I asked him privately that while the meditation, I felt someone, some presence of someone near me, taking care of me and doing some moves on me, like opening something, and I felt here in the throat that I have something is coming out. It's blockage, and it's like really I was something he was blocking, and I want something is coming out. And I thought of this, and it's finished after we finished. So I asked, what is this presence? Is it from me or from him, or what is it exactly? So I need, please, if he can explain this. And the difference in the vibration, actually, I felt the difference in the wealth clearing health. Every time I felt different vibration and different places in my body. Different sensations every time, different places in my body. If you can explain this, please. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for questioning me. So it is some kind of real existence. We got maybe guardian angel or real yourself. It is you, real you, just being inspired by his energy. Yes, I think so.
Any other question? close. Mr. Shinji, until Ms. Shiraz prepare her question, I want to ask you one question. Yes, you wanted to ask the question? Okay, yeah.
She would like to know, like when she started crying, how does she get back to normal? Because she's still feeling very high energy.
You understand the question? Okay, can you repeat it again, please?
Like when she started crying after Mr. His session, she was feeling very emotional and all. So she wants to know how does she get back to normal, because even now she can feel that the eye vibration.
Yes. Thank you.
According to my understanding, that question is during his session, she was crying by feeling something different, and she never had experienced before. And that energy was coming from inside. And the question is how to get back to your state always, right? Yes. So his answer that maybe meditation helps a lot, and come back to that state. Remember the feeling. Yes, is the answer. Thank you. Thank you.
يعطينا اكزرسايز صغير نقوي التركيز، يعني مرات نبغى نركز في شيء بدون ما يدخل الشيطان، احنا نقول يعني بدون ما يدخلوا اشياء تكسر الفكره. شو اكزرسايز بسيط يقوي مده طول التركيز.
She's asking if you can please give us some exercises to increase the focus. So if she's focusing on one subject, other thoughts is coming and interfere. So an exercise, please.
Too many exercises that gives nice exercise and easy.
So my answer is instead of constantly, continuously being observed in your thinking, you just say, that is the words which is speaking inside your head. So you just say to yourself, stop, stop, stop. It's an acronym. S stands for, literally means stop. You say that. You say that. You have to say it. T stands for timeless. You go back to timeless. O stands for observation. Observation. You need to go back where you are, the existence that is looking, that is seeing. P means proceed with that feeling. That is stop.
أي أفكار تيجيكي مختلفة عن التركيز اللي عم تركزي عليه، إذا كنت عم تفكري في موضوع إجت أفكار تانية، دائما قولي لهاي الأفكار وقفي، ستوب، بس وقفيها. اس اللي هي رمز لها إنه يكون إيش
ستوب هي مصطلح الاس.
ستوب هي ستوب از ستوب.
Just say stop.
T just say stop.
Going back to right now.
بس قولي لأفكارك وقفي ستوب وارجعي للوقت هلا. تي ثوت ركزي على الأفكار اللي هو عم تيجيكي، اعرفي سببها شو مصدرها من وين اجت، وobservation لاحظي انت هاي الأفكار عم تيجي من وين ليش، وارجعي لأساسك إنه أنا هون هلا بهاي اللحظة، أنا واعية على حالي، أنا هون، أنا مش بالفكرة، أنا مش في الماضي، أنا مش في وقت ثاني، أنا هون، أنا هلا.
اللي طرحه مستر شينجي هو مفهوم ستوب، مش كلمة ستوب. مفهوم ستوب المتكونة من 4 أحرف، الاس تي او بي. بالضبط. ستوب هي ستوب، الاس ستوب، التي timeless, الاو observation, right? and P هو البريزنت، حاضر، جاي يعني انت بتأمري عقلك الباطن لا يخضع للحاضر. تمام، هذا هو، وهذا مصطلح كثير ثوري. This is a revolutionary therapy. Yeah.
هو أنا قصدت، إحنا درسنا مع الدكاترة العرب إنه تركز في عقارب الساعة. You understand?
What?
She's talking about another technique. About the clock ticks.
Okay. Very well attention.
No coming, any idea coming, you understand?
They call it zero thought. This technique, they call it zero thought.
It's another answer to his question.
Yes, you're right. أي سؤال إضافي قبل ما نختم السيمينار؟ شكرا كثير لكم على تواجدكم. شكرا مستر شنجي، مستر حساس. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. Mr. Shinji-san, Nessa-san, thank you for everything. You are invited for a lunch in the restaurant. We will close this lovely event with a great food also. So thank you for your coming. We are really looking forward for the next step and next seminar inshallah. Thank you حبوباتي. يلا إلى اللقاء. الطبيب جاهز.